Never grab my ass that way!
She saved his life at 2 a.m. in an empty gym. One burning look in the mirror, and he was gone, vanished before she could even learn his name. 6 months later, Chioma's enduring another day of hell, her billionaire boss grabbing her, insulting her in Korean, treating her like she's invisible. She steps into the hallway, broken and furious, ready to quit everything, when the elevator doors open. And he steps out. The man from the gym. The one who's haunted her dreams for half a year. But there's just one problem: he's her boss's brother. A mafia lord. And he's about to make her an offer that will change everything. Grab your popcorn and buckle up, because this story is about to get intense. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what happens next. The champagne glass exploded against marble, spraying shards across Chioma's boots. She didn't flinch. 3 years as a professional security guard had taught her to stay calm when entitled men threw tantrums. But her jaw locked tight as Minjun Park's voice sliced through the penthouse. "Are you deaf and incompetent? I said bring my phone, not stand there like a decorative statue." His Korean accent sharpened each English word into a weapon. Chioma's dark eyes fixed on the wall behind him. At 32, she'd survived worse than spoiled billionaires. But Minjun Park was testing every ounce of her control. She retrieved his phone from the side table, placing it in his outstretched hand without meeting his gaze. The way his eyes crawled over her body made her skin prickle. "You know," Minjun said, switching to Korean as he turned to his friend on the white leather sofa, "I only hired her because my PR team said it would look good. Diversity nonsense. But I enjoy having something exotic to look at. Those curves." He made a crude gesture. Both men laughed. Chioma understood every word. She'd learned Korean during her 6-month soul training before taking this job. But she kept her face blank, her breathing steady, even as rage burned through her chest. She needed this job. Her mother's medical bills in Lagos weren't going to pay themselves. Minjun paid triple standard rate, probably because no one else could tolerate him long enough to collect. "Chioma." Minjun snapped his fingers like she was a dog. "Wait in the hallway. I don't need you hovering during private conversations." As she turned, movement near the bar caught her eye. One of Minjun's assistants, barely 22, was trying to edge away. But Minjun caught her wrist, yanking her closer despite her obvious discomfort. His hand slid to her waist, then lower. The girl's eyes widened with panic. "Sir, I should get back to work." "Work can wait." Minjun's voice turned oily. "You're so tense. Let me help you relax." Chioma's fists clenched. 3rd time this month she'd watched him corner young women on his staff. Every instinct screamed to intervene, to grab his wrist and break it at the joint like her military training had taught her. But she had no power here. No voice. Just the guard. Easily replaced. She stepped into the hallway, door clicking shut behind her. The young woman's nervous laughter followed her out. Chioma felt sick. The elevator chimed. She glanced up absently, expecting another interchangeable business associate. The man who stepped out made her entire world stop. 6'3". Broad shoulders filling a black suit like it was poured onto him. Tattoos climbed his neck, wrapped his wrists, the kind dangerous men earned, not chose. Sharp jaw. Dark hair slicked back. Presence like gravity. But his eyes hit her hardest. Dark. Intense. Familiar. The same eyes that had pinned her in a gym mirror 6 months ago. Her mind flashed back. 2 a.m. empty gym. Muscles aching from a brutal shift. She'd been wiping down a bench when she heard it, controlled, deadly punches slamming into a heavy bag. She turned and saw tattoos, power, precision. A man who fought like he'd survived hell out of pure spite. Their eyes met in the mirror. He stopped mid-strike, breathing hard, watching her like he'd never seen a woman before. Like she was a secret he suddenly needed to know. He started walking toward her, slow, deliberate, and her guarded heart dared to feel something it had no business feeling. Hope. Then his phone rang. Urgent. He cursed under his breath in Korean and left. But not before giving her one last burning look that kept her awake for a week. She returned every night for 2 weeks, waiting. He never came back. Life moved. Buses changed. Leases ended. She convinced herself it had been nothing. Yet here he was, staring at her like thirst meeting water. You. The word barely escaped her throat. I looked for you. He stepped closer, voice low and rough. Every night for 2 weeks. I thought you were a ghost. I changed gyms, she breathed. I moved. Something shifted in his eyes. Relief. Something deeper, darker. Before she could say more, Minjun's door flew open. Hyung. Minjun's voice cracked with panic. You should have called. The man turned his head. The warmth vanished instantly. The Mafia lord surfaced, cold, controlled, lethal. Since when, he said quietly, do I need permission to visit my brother? Brother? Chioma's stomach dropped. Minjun swallowed. Of course not. Chioma, get. She has a name. The temperature in the hallway plummeted. And I heard exactly how you spoke to her. Hyung, she's just a. I know exactly what you think she is. His eyes flicked past Minjun to the assistant fixing her clothes inside. His jaw tightened. I see you haven't changed at all. Minjun's face twisted. My business is. The man smiled. Slow. Terrifying. Chioma, he said, turning back to her. Pack your things. You work for me now. The hallway froze. What? Minjun and Chioma said together. Your guard. I'm taking her. I need someone I can trust, and clearly you don't appreciate what you have. He pulled out his phone, typing. I'm transferring triple her current salary to your account. Consider it done. You can't just. I'm not asking, Minjun. Steel wrapped every word. He turned to Chioma, voice softening. Unless you object? I promise you, I'm nothing like my brother. Chioma's thoughts raced. This was insane. She didn't know this man beyond one charged night in a gym. A mafia lord. Dangerous in ways she couldn't measure. Every rational instinct screamed say no. But she looked at Minjun's furious face. Imagined the terrorized assistants. Remembered the way he treated her like she wasn't human. Then she met those dark eyes and saw respect. Protection. Something like reverence. Triple salary, she asked, voice steady despite her racing heart. Plus benefits. And your mother's medical expenses. A faint smile. I believe in taking care of what's mine. The possessiveness in that last word should have warned her. Instead, it sent heat curling low in her stomach. Then I accept. Minjun exploded. Hyung, this is ridiculous. You're stealing my employee because of some misguided. I'm liberating her from your abuse. His hand moved to the small of Chioma's back, protective, never predatory. Gather your things. You're done here. As Chioma passed Minjun to retrieve her belongings, she heard him hiss in Korean, You always take everything from me. Everything. The reply was too quiet to catch. But when she returned 15 minutes later with her small bag, Minjun was pale and silent. In the elevator, Chioma's awareness of him was overwhelming. He stood close, but not too close. Yet his presence filled every inch of space. His cologne was subtle, expensive, mixing with something uniquely him. I'm not what you think, he said suddenly. She turned. And what do I think? That I'm another entitled Korean man who sees you as a prize. The elevator doors opened to the garage, but he stepped closer. Chioma felt the wall against her back. She wasn't afraid. Her whole body was buzzing. He paused. Do you believe in fate, Chioma? The way he said her name, like it was sacred, made her knees weak. I believe in coincidence. Then maybe it's time you believed in something more. His hand hovered near her face, not touching. Yes, I'm offering you a job. But I'm also asking for a chance. A chance to show you what you should have known 6 months ago, that you're extraordinary. And any man worth anything would spend every day trying to be worthy of you. Chioma's heart thundered. You don't even know me. Then let me. His smile was devastating. Let me know you. Protect you. Worship you the way you deserve. Before she could respond, his phone rang. He cursed softly in Korean, checking the screen. I have to take this. Business. He stepped back, pressing the hold button. Yes. Chioma watched his expression harden. Whoever was on the other end was delivering bad news. When he hung up, violence simmered in his eyes. problem?" she asked. "Nothing you need to worry about. One of my competitors forgot their place." He looked at her. "I'll handle it." When they stepped outside, he gestured to a sleek black car. "That's yours now. Driver, security detail, everything. I meant what I said about taking care of what's mine." But there was no heat in it. His smile was slow and absolutely sinful. Not yet. The next morning, Chioma woke in a penthouse 3 floors below his. Marble floors. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Seoul. A closet full of clothes in her exact size. She found Jaehyun in his private gym, shirtless, fists slamming into a heavy bag. Tattoos covered his back, each one a story of violence survived. He stopped when he saw her. "I wasn't sure you'd stay. I gave you my word. Words are cheap in my world." He tossed her training gloves. "Show me what you've got." They circled each other. He moved like liquid violence, every step calculated. She matched him, her Nigerian army training meeting his street-forged brutality. He lunged. She blocked, countered with a knee strike he barely dodged. His eyes lit up with something between admiration and hunger. "You're not just a guard. You're a weapon. And you're not just a criminal. You're something worse." She landed a hit to his ribs. "You're addictive." He caught her wrist mid-strike, pulling her close. Their faces inches apart, both breathing hard. "Careful, Chioma," he murmured. "I don't know how to want things halfway." "Good." She twisted free. "Neither do I." That night, dinner in his private dining room. She'd cooked Nigerian jollof rice, spicy enough to make most Koreans cry. He ate it like a man starving. "This is better than anything Korea has," he said. "You're going to start a war saying things like that." "For you." His eyes burned into hers. "I'd start 1,000. She learned his name that night. Jaehyun Park. Learned he'd built an empire from nothing while his brother inherited everything. Learned he'd searched 17 gyms looking for her. 17. She laughed. "I'm thorough when something matters." "And I matter? You're all that matters." 3 days later, her mother called from Lagos, crying. "Chioma, I don't understand. The hospital says all my bills are paid. For the next 5 years. They've upgraded my treatment, assigned the best doctors." Chioma found Jaehyun in his office. "You paid my mother's medical care." "Yes. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars." "I'm aware." He didn't look up from his paperwork. "I told you I'd take care of what's mine. I can't accept this." Now he looked at her. "It's already done. Be angry if you want. But your mother gets to live. That's not negotiable." She should have been furious at his high-handedness. Instead, tears burned her eyes. No one had ever fought for her family like this. No one had ever seen her worth. But the fairy tale shattered 5 days later. Chioma was reviewing security footage when she heard it. Shouting. Breaking glass. She ran toward Jaehyun's office, hand on her weapon. She burst through the door. Jaehyun had a man pinned against the wall by his throat. The man's face was purple, feet dangling off the ground. Blood dripped from his nose. "Jaehyun." Her voice cut through his rage. He turned. For a second, she saw the monster, the man who'd clawed his way to power through rivers of blood. Then he saw her. Something shifted. Monster to man. He dropped his victim, who collapsed, gasping. "Out," Jaehyun said. The man scrambled away, leaving bloody handprints on the door. Alone, Jaehyun's shoulders sagged. "You shouldn't have seen that. I'm your guard. I see everything." Chioma moved closer, not away. "What did he do?" "Tried to move product through my territory. Thought I'd gone soft." Bitter laugh. "Thought you made me weak." "And did I?" "Yes." He looked at her with something like despair. "You made me want to be better. But I can't be. This is who I am. Violence. Blood. Things you'd never forgive. If you want to leave." "I don't." "You should." "But I don't." She reached up, touching his face. Blood on his knuckles stained her fingers. "I see who you are, Jaehyun. All of it. The monster and the man. And I'm still here." His hand covered hers. "Why?" "Because monsters don't learn Igbo for the women they want to control. They don't pay for mothers they've never met to live. They don't look at me like I'm the only real thing in their world." "You are," he whispered. "You're the only real thing I have." That night, she found him in his study. Papers scattered everywhere. He looked exhausted, dangerous, beautiful. "Why haven't you kissed me yet?" she asked. His pen stopped mid-stroke. He looked at her like she was both a challenge and a revelation. "Because when I kiss you, Chioma, there will be no going back. You'll be mine completely. And if I want that?" He rose with predatory grace, closing the distance between them. "Then you'd better be sure. I've done things you wouldn't forgive. But for you, I'd burn my whole world down to keep you safe." She whispered, heart pounding, "I don't need you to be good. I just need you to be real." His hand cupped her face, thumb brushing her cheek. "I've never been more real than I am with you." The kiss was everything. Soft and fierce. Gentle and demanding. His other hand slid around her waist, pulling her curves against his solid frame. Chioma melted into him, this perfect fit, this feeling of coming home. When they broke apart, both breathing hard, he pressed his forehead to hers. "Mine," he whispered in Korean. Then in Igbo and Kem. Chioma's eyes filled with tears. "You learned my language? I'm learning everything about you." His thumb caught her tears. "You're not just someone I want, Chioma. You're the light in my darkness." But darkness always finds a way back in. 3 days later, the charity gala glittered with souls elite, perfect faces hiding rotten souls. Chioma moved through the crowd in a black evening gown that hugged every curve, scanning for threats. Jaehyun had insisted she attend as his date, not his guard. "You're not working tonight," he'd said. "You're mine tonight." She caught sight of Minjun across the room. Drink in hand, face flushed with something darker than alcohol. Rage. Jealousy. Humiliation. Her stomach tightened. Minjun's eyes locked on her, widened with recognition and disbelief. His gaze slid to Jaehyun standing behind her, calm, controlled, radiating power that made the room seem smaller. Minjun stormed toward them, knocking into guests, nearly toppling a waiter. "You!" His voice shook. "You think you're special now? You're nothing. Just another. Careful, brother." Jaehyun's voice was arctic. "Choose your next words very carefully." "Or what? You'll steal her too? Like you've stolen everything else." Minjun's hands shot out, grabbing Chioma's arm. "You're coming back. I own your contract." Chioma moved. Fast. Precise. Brutal. She twisted his wrist at an angle that made him scream, drove her knee into his stomach, and had him on the ground in 3 seconds flat. The ballroom went silent. She leaned down, voice low and deadly. "You never owned me. You never even knew me. And now?" She released him. "Now everyone here knows exactly what you are." Minjun scrambled to his feet, face burning crimson. Guests whispered, phones out, already recording. You can't," he lunged at her again. Jaehyun caught his wrist midair. Didn't even look at him. "Security," Jaehyun said calmly. "My brother isn't feeling well. Please escort him out." "You can't do this." Minjun's voice cracked. "Father will. Father knows exactly who his sons are." Jaehyun's smile was blade sharp. "Why do you think he gave me the family business and gave you an allowance?" The words hit Minjun like a physical blow. His face crumpled, rage, shame, jealousy all colliding. Security grabbed his arms. As they dragged him away, he twisted back, eyes burning with impotent fury. "This isn't over," he shouted. "You'll regret." The doors closed, cutting him off. The ballroom erupted in whispers. Jaehyun turned to Chioma, eyes soft despite the steel underneath. "You okay?" "Better than okay." She straightened her dress. "I've wanted to do that for 3 months. That was." He pulled her close, voice dropping low. "Incredibly attractive." "Yeah. Marry me." Chioma laughed. "You can't be serious." "I've never been more serious." His eyes burned into hers. "I knew 6 months ago in that gym. I knew the moment I saw you in that hallway. I knew when you didn't flinch from who I really am." He cupped her face. "Marry me, Chioma. Be mine completely. Let me spend the rest of my life proving you made the right choice." Her heart thundered. That's insane. So, is falling in love in 6 months? Or 3 weeks? Or maybe 6 seconds in a gym mirror? He smiled. "Say yes." She should say no. This was crazy. Too fast. Too dangerous. But when she looked into his eyes, she saw her future. Safety. Respect. Love that would burn down the world to keep her warm. Yes. 6 months later, Chioma stood on the balcony of their penthouse, overlooking Seoul's glittering skyline. Behind her, Jaehyun wrapped his arms around her waist, pulling her back against his chest. "Mrs. Park," he murmured against her neck. "How does it feel?" "Like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be." "Good." He turned her to face him. "Because I have a gift for you." He handed her an envelope. Inside were property deeds. A security training facility in Lagos. Her breath caught. "Jaehyun, you said you wanted to lead teams. Train the next generation." He smiled. "So do it. Build the best security firm in West Africa. I'll fund it. You'll run it." Tears spilled down her cheeks. "You're giving me my dream." "I'm giving you what you always deserved." He kissed her forehead. "A world where you're never invisible again." Somewhere across the city, Minjun Park sat in a bar, drowning in whiskey and bitterness. He'd lost everything: his reputation, his father's respect, his dignity. All because he'd treated a queen like a servant. And his brother? His brother had recognized royalty when he saw it. Chioma pulled Jaehyun into a kiss that promised forever. This was her revenge, not violence, not cruelty. Just a life so beautiful, so full, so hers that her enemies could only watch from the shadows and burn with jealousy. And oh, how they burned.